Why didn't they have this really expensive wedding coming up? Maybe they should have saved it. I didn't get that. I mean, it gave us a kind of a nice moody um, setting for Vivian and Chuck to have that little talk, but
hmm
couldn't figure out why they were burning that money.
Yeah, it's interesting because well, I guess they couldn't really.
They could have turned it over to the government.
Oh, I guess so. I guess so. But if they were there in a more covert way, maybe they were under the radar of the government, and it would have raised flags if they were caught with it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was just such a pointed visual of them burning the money, and there was no explanation for it. So I've been pondering that and haven't figured it out.
Yeah, and I just a little aside. A number of people stumble on plot holes of traveling to countries on the other side of the world and back to Los Angeles and then back to the countries and back. I think we should just explain that they have a jet that can go Mach 23.
It's the Volkov family jet.
Yeah, they have the Volkov family jet that they can use that goes 10 times faster than any other jet. And so that explains about 99% of the plot holes. So just pretend that they have a really, really fast jet to travel to these places.
And time zones. Don't forget the time zones.
Yeah.
Makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had some wonderful moments with Morgan again. I love the Renaissance people coming in. I thoroughly enjoyed that. We have a Renaissance fair that happens every year right down the road from me. And I used to go many years ago when it first began, and it was nothing more than, cardboard fronts. Now they're whole buildings, and the county owns it, and it's all ridiculous now. But back then, it was a lot of fun. So to see these people come in, it cracked me up. Just cracked me up. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some nice moments with Ellie and Sarah.
Yes. Did.
And I'm really appreciating those little things, because those are the things that gradually transform Sarah's character. Mm-hmm. And without those, her transformation, I don't think would be believable.
I agree.
But I love that place that Ellie's taking in her life.
I really love that they're following up what they talked about in Cat Squad.
Mm-hmm.
They're, she said, "I will help you with the wedding. We can talk if we need to talk." And so she's helping with the wedding. They're laying that groundwork. They're showing that bond, and I'm very, very happy that we're doing that finally.
Mm-hmm.
And at Sarah's, I say finally because it's something I've been hoping and looking for a while, but really Sarah's only just now at the place where she is able to be in that kind of a relationship with Ellie, where she's able to open up. And, she was friendly, of course, with Ellie, but I think she's only now at a place where she can really bond with her. So I say finally, but in the context of the story, it makes sense.
Yeah. Now, overall, this last week's episode and this week's episode were technically set up episodes. Mm-hmm. There were a number of things being set up. One of them, of course, a big one, is Vivian's little jaunt over to the dark side. Mm-hmm. Another big one is Casey and the mysterious bunker.
Up to?
Yeah, which and specifically that device that Morgan knew the name of.
The TR-475.
Yeah, like this, we don't know what that device does yet, but what would it do that is so significant and so secret that he was so protective of Morgan telling anybody about it? We've got Morgan, for I don't know what reason he would move into Casey's apartment when he's dating his daughter. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Not thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Not thinking ahead.
Keep your friends close. Keep your daughter's boyfriends closer.
No. I did like that he leveraged, which of course is code for blackmail, Casey into letting him do that.
Yeah.
Getting bold, our generously bearded man.
Yeah. And then we very sadistically didn't get a promo. And sadistically don't have Chuck next week. So we have 2 weeks to wait for Chuck and no promo. I'm guessing that's because NBC wants to promote the tar out of the event, which is 2 hours next Monday, 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, which I do urge you to watch it. Support the event. It's a great show. But I'm guessing that they're going to promote the tar out of the event and then promote the tar out of Chuck's return. Guess.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
We're going to need it because it comes back the day after Daylight Savings Time switches.
Yeah.
But yeah. If they run some promos during the event's big launch, I'll forgive them for not giving us this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That would be a good route to go.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's about it to discuss, other than the fact that Ray Wise was delightful.
I was a little worried he was only going to have that one scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were getting towards the end of the episode, and I was like, wait a second, what happened to the lawyer? And then there he came. Dun, dun, dun.
He was
spreading lies.
Perfectly cast in that role.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that bad.
Mm-hmm.
He does bad real good.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I think that it's going to really, really heat up in the next couple of episodes. You can't do 3 setups in a row. It goes set up, heat up. And that's what's going to happen next time.
I think so. Yikes. Let's talk about that in the spoiler section.
Good idea. And speaking about spoilers, we're going to do what we've done the last few weeks, last couple of weeks anyway. And since you've had the helpful reminders in the bottom corner as we've been talking, we won't do our concluding announcements that we used to do. So we do urge you to listen to the sponsors, which are going to happen right now. And then at that point, after the sponsor messages, if you don't want to hear the spoilers, you can pull out your headphones or press stop. But if you do want the spoilers, just roll on through and we'll see you on the other side. But make sure you watch Chuck live 2 weeks from now. Doesn't matter what daylight savings time says, Chuck is on. And watch live and spread it on Facebook and spread it on Twitter and send out emails and call your family and picket the streets. Let's get that 1.7 higher for the next time Chuck airs.
Yeah.
But until then, see ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And now we want to thank our sponsors, IELabs.com, makers of award-winning Action Blue AVC HD conversion software, which authors full HD videos on regular DVD discs. It even works with HD clips from the newest iPhone 4. You can get your free trial of the software at IELabs.com. We also want to thank MovieMorons.com for supporting Chuck versus the podcast. Movie Morons is a podcast all about film. So if you are inclined to find out what movies you should be watching this fall, check out MovieMorons.com. And SyrianJunkies.de. We want to thank them for supporting us as well.
Hello, this is Christina Caramel from Serienjunkies TV. Are you addicted to TV shows? Be our guests and learn the latest news and reflections on what's going on in the world of TV series. Well, our show is in German, but maybe you want to drop in anyway? Then visit www.serienjunkies.de and watch out for our video podcast. See you.
Spoiler warning. And we're back with the spoilers. Mel, what have you got for us?
Well, I have Basil back with us again because he just cannot resist. Was commenting on him, and so he's back. And actually, he was clawing my leg, so I just decided to grab him. But we have the official synopsis for Chuck episode 418, which is the one that comes when Chuck returns on Monday, May 14th. It's this one. Chuck versus the A-Team. Chuck fears that Casey has a secret that may split up the team. Robin Givens is back, Stacy Keibler, and Isaiah Mustafa guest star. Yay!
Greta!
2 favorite Gretas. Chuck and Sarah investigate when they suspect that Casey is carrying out private missions. Wait a minute. He already told him that he was.
Yeah.
They're good spies. Right on, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Chuck fears that the CIA's seemingly perfect new operatives, Isaiah Mustafa and Stacy Keebler, will render him obsolete. Elsewhere, Morgan settles in with a new roommate, and Awesome panics when Ellie embarks on a potentially dangerous line of research.
Dun dun dun.
I know. What could it be? Is the laptop back in play?
I don't know.
Vic Sahai and Bonita Friedrichi also star.
Yeah, what would make Awesome panic? I mean, that is huge.
Yeah.
Well, getting too close to the spy world again. Remember what he told Chuck? That he doesn't want her anywhere near it. And he was upset when she was working on a laptop and he found out what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very interesting.
On back in.
Yeah.
Talk about heating things up. That would do it.
Yep. And we're going to maybe find out what Casey's up to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dying to know what's going on in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Well, looking ahead, we've obtained the casting call for Chuck episode 4.21, titled Chuck versus the Wedding Planner. This has nothing to do with Jennifer Lopez and Matthew McConaughey.
Mercifully so.
They will not be on this episode. It was an episode written by Rafe Judkins and Lauren LaFranc. I'm sorry, Lauren. Woo. I'll take my little fuzzy thing with me now. Lauren LaFranc. The wedding planner in question is one Daphne Peralta, a fashionable, fit, smart, sexy woman in her 30s or 40s who sport a New Jersey accent. She's planning a wedding for the daughter of a Hungarian nuclear scientist, Dr. Klug, who happens to work for Iran. His sons Bruno, Franz, and Polly are also nuclear scientists working for Iran. But wait, who's the bride? Who's the bride?
Dun 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 dun.
Bruno, Franz, and Polly. Sounds like mafia to me.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hungarian mafia.
Yeah.
Watch out for them.
And in related news, of course, relating to all this wedding talk, Gary Cole is confirmed to return as Sarah's father, Jack Burton. He'll return in episode 421, Chuck versus the Wedding Planner. And as per Chris Fedak, we have a con at the heart of the Jack episode, obviously. There are actually multiple cons. We definitely put Chuck and Sarah out there. They could potentially get in a lot of trouble, given that they are government employees and that Jack has spent his life flouting the law. Getting mixed up with Jack again will prove to be a challenge for the duo, personally and professionally. Fedak was also asked whether we'll see Mama Walker, or Burton, or whatever her name is on the show, but he didn't want to make any promises about that happening this season. You can read more from Fedak about all these storylines and a Chuck Sarah wedding at TV Squad. Oh, wow. So we have a bunch of episodes left, but all this talk of the end of the season.